has received another Embraer jet, adding to its growing fleet. The aircraft touched down from Brazil at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport over the weekend. Now, according to the airline, the E-jets will help in consolidating its position in the continent, where it currently flies to 46 destinations. Kenya Airways uses the Embraers to service domestic and regional routes, including Kisumu, Entebbe, Kigali, among others. Speaking at the arrival of the aircraft, Kenya Airways Chief Executive Officer Titus Naikuni said they have 7 more E190 aircrafts on order, with the delivery each month until February next year.
And brought home by a fantastic group of
The Nairobi Securities Exchange benchmark indicator, popularly known as the NSE 20-share index, has hit the 4,000 mark, and that was as of close of trading yesterday. The index stood at 4,029.50 points as British American Tobacco, Kenya Airways and Equity Bank continued reporting impressive figures, propping up the index. The NSE 20-share index opened the year at 3,212.86 and has gained 25.4% to date. The NSE 20-share index last hit the 4,000 mark on 14th June 2011, standing at 4,009.31 points. Chief Executive Officer of the Nairobi Securities Exchange, Peter Mwangi, says that it is an indicator of the bullish sentiment the market as we approach the end of the year. He also added that the bullish run is anticipated to hold steady as a result of the affirmative market performance. Kenya is on course to produce unprecedented 38 million bags of maize this season, according to the Ministry of Agriculture. This is despite several hundreds of acres of maize plantations being wiped out by disease in the country's breadbasket. Speaking at the 3rd National Agricultural Sector Development Forum, Agriculture PS Romano Kiome said only 64,000 hectares of maize in Rift Valley had been destroyed by the lethal necrosis disease, translating to about 1 million bags of harvest. Now, as a result, the Permanent Secretary said Kenya will only import slightly over 1 million more bags to cover for the shortfall, down from 9 million imported last year. The improved harvest across the country has been attributed to improved seeds and fertilizer use by farmers.
In terms of general maize production, well, in the years of drought, it has come down. In general, it's gone up from an average that we used to produce of 30 million per bags, and we expect to get to an average of about that 80 million per bags. I mean that 80 million bags, where the demand is around between that 8 and that 9, where we would probably be able to be meeting the demand, except on drought years.
Local Government Minister Paul Otuoma has summoned Narok County Council chief officers over the controversial 10-year contract between the council and Equity Bank for Masai Mara Reserve. Otuoma wants the council clerk Pius Mutemi and treasurer Andrew Wanyonyi to appear before him in his Jogoo House office in Nairobi to explain how the council entered into the deal with the bank. The deal, which was signed last year, has led to violent confrontation between locals and police. The minister summoned the duo after locals claimed that they were not consulted. 2 months ago, Auditor General Richard Ouko, in his report, said the council would lose up to 1 billion shillings annually if the deal was not rescinded, recommending that it should be renegotiated. The The impact of the Energy Regulatory Commission's latest price review is expected to trickle down the chain in the in the coming days. I beg your pardon. This is expected to derail the push towards low inflation figures that currently stand at 5.3%.
Kenya's economy traditionally is highly dependent on diesel for transport, power production and agriculture. Petrol, on the other hand, is consumed by hundreds of thousands of personal vehicles on our roads, while kerosene ranks highly in many homes for use in lighting and cooking. With the nearly record upward price adjustments recently by the Energy Regulatory Commission, most Kenyans' households and manufacturing firms will only have to dig deeper into their pockets to sustain the run. It is out of this that the trickle-down effect of the price reviews will be escalated to the various sectors of the economy. This, according to many analysts, will dampen the current good run of the inflation fight. In adjusting the prices by an upward of 6 shillings on an average for super petrol, the ERC noted that there were marked inconsistency in the international market. This, according to them, made it difficult to predict effects on pump prices in subsequent reviews. This can only point to further increases of the pump prices, coupled with the unstable run that the Kenya shilling has been witnessing to the dollar of late. On the other hand, most rural families as well as low-class urban dwellers will also be forced to dig deeper into their pockets or use alternative energies for lighting and cooking. Even before the ERC reviews, Power Utility Firm had indicated that power bills would remain high as Tana River main generating dams had not yet achieved maximum water levels. This gives a cue to high cost of production across the country, which ultimately is transferred to consumers, eroding their purchasing power at the end of the day.
On the international scene, there's a warning from Portugal's finance minister who says failure to stick with the latest austerity plan could be catastrophic. Lisbon is bracing for more public unrest after Parliament unveiled a budget with the biggest tax hikes yet under the country's bailout program. About 2,000 protesters gathered in Portugal's capital on Monday following weekend demonstrations. Now, critics say Portugal's 2013 budget could make its recession even worse. Right, we now take a short commercial break. When we come back, we'll be talking to Paul Wambua, the CEO of Stima Sacco, who's going to unveil the new strategy the Stima Sacco has in order to become a force in the Sacco sector.
You must calculate. But I know what? When we decide to do it, we do it our style. That's what I'm telling you. 17th of October, we'll be coming down Kisumu for Rumba Night Yawa. Not forgetting the Grand DJ Mato Zibor and DJ Moore. They'll be doing their things inside the Signature Club. But this time round, it's a bit different. Because the 100 chicks will be getting a glass of wine free. Don't forget, it is 17th of October. Radio Maisa crew also in the house. It's all courtesy of Radio Maisa Skiza One and the Signature Club, Don't miss!
I wish I could live in sound and perfect health. I wish I could sleep in peace with my wealth. But I don't have the power, and that's why I ensure Jubilee live free. I wish I could flee from every disaster. I wish I could be destiny's man.
The gift of life is yours with Jubilee. Jubilee Life Insurance. Live free.
She's got a cold again.
Well, I'm sure you're taking proper care of your hygiene.
Yes, I use antiseptic liquid in the bath water.
But germs are also getting smarter, and your protection is still the same.
So what's better?
Advanced Lifebuoy. While bathing, it gives better germ protection than antiseptic liquid. 10 infection-causing germs, 1 advanced protection. Lifebuoy.
IEBC will tomorrow, Wednesday 17th October, publish the new 290 National Assembly constituencies and 1,450 County Assembly wards. Get a free copy of the IEBC pullout with your copy of the Standard newspaper tomorrow.
Welcome back to Financial Markets Live. I'm now joined in studio by Mr. Paul Wambua, who is the CEO of Stima Sacco. Thank you so much for joining us in studio.
Thank you, Edith.
All right, I'm just looking at some of the statistics from Stima Sacco, and you're registering exemplary growth both in membership and also the amount of deposits that people are putting in. What is the secret?
Well, thank you. It's true, we've continued to do very well. We've had a lot of, tremendous support from our shareholders, our members, and we want to thank them for that support. We've continued to register very good results in the last 10 years, an average of 17% per annum. But we aim to improve on that in the next 5 years, as you might have seen in our new strategic plan, 2012-2016.
Okay, I'm just looking at the data that you had sent, and it's showing that the membership has grown incredibly between 2010 and 2011. How have you managed to do that? What caused the growth spurt, especially in such a time where there's economic recession?
Yeah, it's true, we've doubled our membership in the last 3 years, largely because of, one, an enabling environment. We had the Sacco Societies Act 2008 and the regulations thereof coming in 2010, and that gave us an opportunity to review our constitution in terms of who can be a member of Stima Sacco. Secondly, we have invested heavily in promoting the brand of Stima Sacco. We've reviewed our membership regulations and policies, and that has enabled us to open up the Sacco to a diverse background in terms of getting people who initially were not in the traditional bond who could be members then. And this has seen us grow in the last 3 years, as you've rightly observed. Moving forward, we want to actually quadruple that number.
Quadruple the number?
In the next 4 years.
So in 4 years, you want this figure to have moved from double to quadruple?
Yes.
All right, we'll talk about the membership in just a short while. But I'm also seeing that these members are coming in and they're also increasing their deposits in the Sacco. What would you say is encouraging them to do so?
As I've said, Stima Sacco is a strong brand, is a credible institution, very stable, strong leadership, very professional management, has a very rich history in terms of strong governance, and above all, it's a safe institution. We really do appreciate the commitment that our shareholders have put their resources in the institution, and those are some of the the factors in terms of turnaround time. Members have confidence that they can always get facilities within a very short time. In terms of quality of services, it matches any other of conventional financial institutions in the country.
All right, speaking of conventional financial institutions, let's talk about the membership. You're saying that you want to open it up to people who were previously not in your bracket. Talk to us about that.
We have already done that. In fact, in 2010, we revised our bylaws, to take advantage of the regulations. For, the benefit of Kenyans, Stima Sacco was the first Sacco to be licensed as a deposit-taking institution by the Sacco Societies Regulatory Authority, which is a regulator for Saccos. And therefore, Stima Sacco is open to any Kenyan who will meet the requirements of the regulations, the bylaws, and the membership policy. And we are telling Kenyans to come and patronize the services of Stima Sacco because it's the first Sacco to be licensed. Even in terms of renewal of that license, we are fully compliant with the SASRA's regulations, and we are an institution that matches any international standards in terms of Sacco business.
All right. And because now you're calling on to people who are outside what you're calling the employer-based bond, how do you then differentiate yourself from other commercial banks?
We aim to be a specialized banking Sacco business. In fact, that is our ultimate objective. That we want to do everything any bank can do, but with the identity of a savings and credit cooperative, because that is our core strength. But we want to be able to serve anybody who chooses to join Stima Sacco like any other bank customer everywhere in the world, conforming to the SACCO regulations.
All right. I hear you talking about your brand and strengthening your brand constantly. Are you planning to maybe open branches countrywide? I'm seeing here that you have plans to open a certain number of offices in different regions.
Yes, indeed. We aim to be in every strategic location in the country where our members can access us, can be able to, reach us in terms of, bring their deposits, accessing credit facilities, accessing their banking requirements any time of the day, 24/7, everywhere in the country. We're going to do this, of course, as you might have seen the document. We're going to invest seriously in, technology, to leverage on technology to be able to distribute our products and services across the country. We know that the opportunity is coming through a devolved government setup, and we intend to be in every county in this country.
All right. At the moment, what is your presence like? How many offices do you have in the counties?
We have 23 satellite offices across the country, but in terms of physical brick and mortar branches, we've opened our first branch in Mombasa this year. In December, we're going to be in Kisumu. In March, we intend to be in Nakuru. And as you saw in the document, we are going to be in 10 physical locations, plus other satellite offices. For example, in Nairobi, we are thinking of about 2 next year, what we may want to call mini branches.
Mini branches.
Mini branches.
Okay. And obviously, you're hoping to target more people. But there's somebody who's watching this and wondering, why would I want to join Stima SACCO?
You want to join Stima SACCO because it's the best managed SACCO in the country. It has the best asset quality in this country, and there are statistics to prove that. It has the best professional service. It actually has the highest average size of loan facilities per capita in the country. It's a strong institution. It's a strong financial institution, a very, very, trusted institution. It's an institution anybody would want to trust their money with. And, if you went into the details of our customer support, you'll find that Stima SACCO has attracted huge deposits from individual customers.
All right. The strategic plan you have runs until 2016. What happens after that? After you've met your goals and obligations and you have the membership numbers that you want, and then what?
We believe that this is an evolving process. Actually, we will not sit back and wait for 2016 to review. We will be adjusting as the dynamics of the market dictates. We will be adjusting, as the membership requirements dictate us to. And therefore, we will not just sit back and wait for 2016. We believe that that is the general roadmap. But in between, we'll be, looking at new avenues to improve our, our organization. You must have seen the document that we are thinking of microfinance products.
Right.
We are thinking about long-term mortgage facilities. We are thinking of asset financing. We are thinking of increasing our money transfer services. We are thinking of even the diaspora. You must have seen that we have thoughts about going into the diaspora and also harnessing the opportunities that are available in those markets.
All right.
Yeah.
And I suppose anyone who wants to make money knows that it takes money to make that money.
Yeah.
Where is your funding coming from?
No, 80% of the funding is from our shareholders, the members of Stima SACCO. Again, you've seen currently we have about 6.5 billion shillings in members' deposits. So, if you take that vis-a-vis the asset book of 8.7 billion, that gives you an idea of where the major funds are coming from. But we are also very strong in terms of institutional capital. In fact, we are the best capitalized SACCO in this country. Again, that is on record.
Right.
In addition, we are looking at partnerships that are going to help us access cost-effective sources of funding to be able to close any funding gaps that we may encounter along the way. Yeah.
You did talk about your capital. What does your share capital stand at the moment?
1.2 billion shillings.
1.2 billion
1.2 billion shillings. And again, looking at the banking requirements, then we can say that Stima SACCO can comfortably transform into a bank if we so chose to. But
do you have plans to do that in the future? Or
in the long term, like I said, we are saying that we want to be a specialized SACCO banking business. We will see as we go along.
We have to wait and see, all right.
Yeah.
And for the people who want to join and they don't know what the policies are, what the requirements are by these financial institutions, what are some of the basic requirements they would need to get into the SACCO?
The basic requirement is that one needs to be a Kenyan. That's number one. You need to have an ID card. You need to you prove that you're a resident of Kenya. and you need to abide by the other minimum requirements that are spelled out in the membership policy, in the bylaws. We have posted all this information into our website, and this is information that is available to any Kenyan. We welcome Kenyans to work with us because we have a dream of being a strong contributor to Vision 2030 in terms of the financial pillar.
All right. All right. As we wind up, maybe you can give us closing remarks about Stima Sacco and your strategy and looking ahead.
We want to thank our members for the continued support that they have given us as an institution, and want to assure them that this new strategic plan is meant to continuously improve on the services that they have continued to enjoy. We see our institution doing well, and we want to ask them to continue supporting us. We want to thank our partners, particularly the financial institutions that have worked with us, and to ask them to continue giving us that support. And the future is bright for this institution. As we have done in the mission revision, we've said that our mission now is to empower members for lives, and we want to go all the way with our members. As individuals, as families, as institutions, as Kenyans.
All right. Yeah. And the last question, in times of recession, everybody's always worried about where they keep their money and whether or not to be safe in the harder times. How do you ensure that people's money is safe?
We have very strong financial management policies. Again, as I've said, we are regulated, and the regulations actually require us to, maintain a certain liquidity ratio. As I've said, we have a very strong capital base.
Right.
We have very prudent, financial management strategies, and if our members will actually confirm this, even when times have been hard in terms of very high interest rates, we do not revise our interest rates, and we do not compromise on the quality and timeliness of loans or issuance of facilities to them. And that's the demonstration that we are a stable institution, and they can count on us to continue on that growth path.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Paul Wambo, for coming into the studio this afternoon. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Edith, for having me in this program.
All right. Yeah. He's a CEO of Stima Sacco, and he's just outlined some strategic plans which he has regarding the Sacco, including one that allows anyone, really, to join the Sacco so long as you meet the requirements. And that's where we wind up this edition of KTN Financial Markets Live. Thank you for your company. I'm Edith Kimani. Let's do this again tomorrow, same time.
Timiza na M-Pesa. Win a Mercedes E200. To enter, simply use Nunua na M-Pesa, pay bill, or even do your banking through M-Pesa.
Today, I see the hurt upon your face, thinking how much more this can take. In a minute, I'm about to break. Today, see the pain has purpose sort of going away. There's a harvest if you're on the way. You're walking now, I need you to stay. Today,
though you never felt winds blow like these before, but if what you see is all you see, you will miss there's so much more.
Here we go! Somebody, we come. Somebody, bring somebody, forget somebody. Here we go! Somebody, love somebody, get somebody, let go of somebody today. Hey, we gon' live our lives today. We can't waste no more time. Hey, we not looking back no more today. Let's go.
IEBC will tomorrow, Wednesday 17th October, publish the new 290 National Assembly constituencies and 1,450 County Assembly wards. Get a free copy of the IEBC pullout with your copy of the Standard newspaper tomorrow.